Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Of course, as a company, Bishop is all about rigging products and heavy duty lifting, and we have a lot of solutions for that. But we have other products in our arsenal too, and one of those is a line of PWAG security chain. This is a super popular product for our customer base. Today, we're going to talk about why. So let's start with a quick fun fact. Only over the past 4 to 5 years has this chain become super popular for us, especially as an e-commerce product. But the truth is, if you go back 20 plus years, this chain has been a SKU in our database. We've been selling the PWAG chain back before they partnered with the Vero line of padlocks out of Italy, back when the only padlock of choice was the St. Pierre, and the only size available was 3/8. But as the line of PWAG security chain really became popular online as a great choice for those looking to secure valuable products, whether it's personal products like snowmobiles, motorcycles, or even commercial products like generators on job sites, PWAG realized that they needed to expand their offering. There was a lot of different use cases for these products, and so they introduced the chain in 3 different sizes. So let's go over those 3 different sizes and talk about how they might be applicable for you in your application. We'll start with the smallest size, which is 7mm, commonly referred to as 9/32. Yes, in America, we have to take any metric size and apply an imperial inch equivalent. So when you hear us talk about 9/32, 3/8, and ½ inch, it's because people need a good reference point. The actual sizes are 7mm, 10mm, and 12mm. So the small size is really ideal for people who are going to use this in a backpack, on a bicycle, maybe a small scooter. It's still a really good theft deterrent, but it has a much lighter weight and it's much easier to carry around and even to deploy. One of the cons of this particular size is it offers slightly less security than the bigger sizes, and the padlocks that we carry for it, which is this one right here, are only available in a KD option. Now, what does KD mean? We get that question all the time. So KD versus KA, keyed different or keyed alike. So when you're shopping on our site and you see an option as a drop-down to choose a keyed different or keyed alike padlock, what we're telling you is that you can order this padlock where maybe you buy 5 or 6 and they all take the same key, which is really popular in a commercial application. Maybe you have several gates or several similar pieces of equipment that you need to secure, and you want your staff to be able to share one key in common. If you choose keyed different, then you have every single lock requiring a different key. And there could be valid security reasons for that. But most of our customers, if they're buying multiple padlocks at one time, or multiple sets of chain and padlock, they choose a key-to-like option. They only want one key that they have to keep track of. And since each padlock ships with multiple keys, you can lose multiple keys before you really run out and have a serious problem on your hands. Let's talk about the 3/8 size. The 3/8 size of chain is kind of that Goldilocks size, if you will. A lot of our customers go for it because it's right in the middle, offering better overall security, more theft deterrence. It's more visually intimidating, of course, as you can see. And it still has a weight to it that's not overbearing. You can put this in a backpack or duffel bag, or put it in the back seat of your vehicle, wherever you want to keep it. So this size is super popular. The padlock that goes with it might be part of that. This padlock, the 4126 model, has individual chain pockets. So each link of chain, you'll hook one in this side, go around whatever you're securing, and hook the other in the other side. That means the bolt is completely secured from attack. So really the would-be thief is going to have to get through the security chain itself or potentially pick the lock, which is not going to be easy to do. For those who need the utmost security, the 12mm size is really the choice. As you can see on the table, it is just physically bigger and more intimidating than the other 2 sizes, which is the very particular reason we wanted to have these on a table next to each other. We realize that when you're shopping online and you're looking at flat images, it's really hard to get a sense of scale. So that's why we wanted to have these in front of you today, so that you can see visually just how much difference there is between the 7mm, 10mm, and 12mm size. Getting back to that 12mm size, it comes with the beefiest of all the padlocks, this option right here, which is the 4153. Like the 4126, this padlock can be had keyed different or keyed alike. Now in terms of kits, that's actually something that we started doing years ago, before these kits from PWAG were even available, we were packaging a cut length of chain with the padlock and chafe sleeve for one discounted price. We offer those still on our site in lengths from 2 feet up to 20 feet. Maybe we'll build that out to offer even more length options as we go, but just so you know, we do have those options. Keep in mind that the kits that we offer are cut to length and non-returnable. So we actually go into a bulk drum of chain, we pull that chain out, we cut it to length, we assemble the kit, we send it out the door. We do not keep a bunch of kits on the shelf pre-packaged. We never know what the next order is gonna bring. And because we offer multiple different sizes and multiple different lengths, we can't stock all of those up front. So we cut them on demand, and once you order them cut that way, they're yours. Conversely, these kits from PWAG are really nice options, but they're only available in 3, 6, and 9 foot lengths. Now that may or may not work for you. If it does, great. These are a really good option because it includes a little carrying tote bag as well as the chafe sleeve in the package, all for one fixed price. And the way they come in this retail packaging, they're even giftable. Let's talk a little bit about the technical details of the chain because some people really get into that. I totally get it. I'm a rigging guy. We talk specs all day long. So all of these chains have a 62 Rockwell hardness rating, which is extremely hard. By comparison, and a question we get a lot is, why can't I just use a grade 100 or a grade 120 chain? They're super strong. Nobody's gonna get through that. Well, it's important to note that a grade 120 chain, which is currently the highest grade of lifting chain available, only has a Rockwell hardness of approximately 41. So it's a much softer chain. This chain is case hardened to get to that 62 HRC rating. It's also important to know that PWAG was smart about the way they did it. So these two smaller sizes are hardened only 10% deep. And then on the bigger size, it's hardened only 6% deep. And that's all the further they needed to go, frankly, to meet the requirements of being essentially bolt cutter proof. Now, why do we say bolt cutter proof or essentially bolt cutter proof? Well, to our knowledge, the 12mm and 10mm are not cuttable with a common pair of bolt cutters. We took a 42-inch pair of bolt cutters and actually had our guys in the shop with the bolt cutters on the floor in a vise and the 10mm and 12mm chain. And one of our shop workers was fully suspended off of that upper handle. In fact, you can watch that video right here. And the chain barely had a scratch on it. And I saw that happen in person. I was there for the filming of it. It was years ago. And the chain's only gotten better since. On that note, let's talk just for a moment about PWAG. They're one of the world's biggest chain companies. So it's not like PWAG got into this business overnight. This chain isn't just coming in from China. This is a high quality product. Now, PWAG as a company, they make all types of chain, all types of lifting grade chain and tire chain. In fact, the genesis of this biggest size really comes from a traction chain that they were making called 3012. And years ago on the internet, everybody was searching for 3012 chain. In fact, I think that's one reason their line really took off. The truth is 3012 is no longer available as a security chain option. If you want security chain, it's been replaced. And really one of the only key differences is that 3012 chain was self-colored, meaning it had no rust preventative finish on it. All of this chain is galvanized, so this chain is going to hold up much better in the elements. It's not going to introduce rust on whatever it is you're securing. Now, as far as the chain and keeping it protected, a note about chafe sleeve. We offer 2 different chafe sleeves from PWAG on our website. In fact, you can see one of them on this chain right over here. That's a black tubular type of product, a nylon type of product that slides over the body of the chain and keeps the chain protected and also whatever you're wrapping the chain around. So let's say you're going to secure a high dollar piece of equipment, a trailer, a motorhome, something with nice wheels, and you want to pass this chain through. The chafe sleeve is going to help prevent any unintentional scratching. It's a really good option. Most of our customers order this chain with the chafe sleeve, but again, unless you're buying one of these kits, you can kind of buy it however you want. You can buy only the chain and introduce your own padlock. You can buy the chain with chafe sleeve, or you can buy one of our prepackaged kits. In fact, I really recommend if you're gonna buy all 3 components, buy one of the kits, because you're gonna save a little money. Now, outside of these 3 padlocks on the table, on our website, you're gonna see other competitive brands like Abus and Leuclide, and we do have those prepackaged as well where it makes sense. So if you're a fan of Abus, you want the best possible chain, and you think Abus is the best possible lock, by all means, we have those kits available, so check them out. So that's gonna wrap it up for our video on PWAG security chain. Frankly, this is one that feels like it's long overdue. We have fielded so many questions over the years in regards to PWAC security chain. We hope that this video answers a lot of those questions. Check out the Q&A section on our site for a lot of these individual SKUs, like this one is 56847. If you go to the product page and check it out, you'll see a Q&A area. We have answered a lot of questions. Of course, we haven't answered every question, and we're happy to field some more, but a lot of those are on there. Again, leave some more in the comments today. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it, and we certainly appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking out this video. Thank you.